Nigerian workers start two-day nationwide protest. Yeah, the issue in Nigeria, the high inflation, the food scarcity, the hunger and starvation has really put everyone on edge. Like people are like, yeah, people are like, yeah, and they have decided to take matters into their own hands, and they have decided to start protesting until the government is willing to hear their cry and to like render solutions to the problems they are facing. I believe that the only way our governments in Africa actually do something is when we go into the street and protest. Protesting is a very, very effective tool to get the ears of the government officials. So let's continue with this story. A 2 days protest kicked off in Nigeria's commercial hub of Lagos on Tuesday morning, shortly before other locations nationwide followed. One of the country's main union, the Nigeria Labour Congress, has called workers to demonstrate outrage on their mounting hardship and insecurity. The watchword was end hardship now. Nigerians are living through one of the West African nation's worst economic crises in years, triggered by surging inflation and the consequences of monetary policies that have pushed the currency into an all-time low against the dollar. Open all full storage silos and ensure equitable distribution across the country. One of the demands in a letter circulated in the media read: the trade union umbrella NLC call on the government to abandon World Bank and IMF policies which they believe are adding to hardship in Nigeria. On Monday, the finance minister announced the resumption of direct cash transfer to help over 12 million vulnerable households. The situation is at its worst in conflict zone in northern Nigeria, where farming communities are no longer able to cultivate what they eat as they are forced to flee violence. Before the protest Tuesday, Well Edon told the BBC that President Bola Tinubu was listening and acting in order to meet the needs of Nigerians. Well, if he was listening, then he would have done something by now. People have been crying, people have been struggling, people have been suffering, but I get the feeling that he doesn't really care that much. After all, he doesn't starve. Let's face it, right? He doesn't go hungry. He doesn't starve. He has whatever he wanted. He has enough budget to buy whatever he wanted, no matter the cost. This hardship is not on him. He is not feeling it. And that is why he cares little to nothing about it. The Nigerian people are facing this crisis very, very seriously. But not Tinubu, not him or his cronies. Not all of them or his fellow politicians. No, 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 no. Those guys have more than enough for themselves. Okay, those guys, they have embezzled more than enough. They have enough money for themselves. So they do not really feel anything. Let no one lie to you that somehow they are feeling it. No, no, no. They are lying. They are not feeling anything. They have more than enough for themselves. That is why they live they live lavishly. Why majority of Nigerians go hungry. They starve. Politicians don't care. I have said this before and I will just say it again. Maybe some people might find this not politically correct or not okay with them, but that's just their own take. My own take is politicians do not care. That is just it. But let's move on to our next story for the day. Egypt foreign minister called out world's double standard over Israel offensive in Gaza. A lot of people are talking about this Israel attack on Gaza. And this has been one of the things that has opened people's eyes, right? Initially, we all thought that, well, all humans were created equally, so somehow we all have a life, a right to life. At least the West told us that do not worry, we are all but equal human beings on this earth, and we all have a right to life. But the recent incident in Gaza has kind of like opened all of us our eyes. This has kind of like let us understand that there are only but equal people in this world. That some people are more equal than other people. And that is what Egyptian foreign minister is calling out here. So let's continue. The Egyptian foreign minister said the world is witnessing the most heinous crimes against the Palestinians in Gaza Strip, adding that the war there has exposed double standards in the approach to crisis around the world. Samir made the remarks at the session of Human Rights Council in Geneva, stressing the need for a ceasefire and calling on Israel to refrain from carrying out military action in the city of Rafah. Palestinians are clinging to life in the southern Gaza town of Rafah amid the grinding war with Israel. In the wake of Hamas' attack on southern Israel on October 7, Israeli air, sea, and ground campaign in Gaza has killed tons of thousands of people, obliterated large swathes of the urban landscape, displaced 80% of the battered enclave's population, and sparked concern that a famine could be imminent, according to the United Nations. The weapons of starvation, siege, and forced displacement are being used against the Palestinians. He called for the need to enable humanitarian organizations to carry out their work in the Gaza Strip, to allow aid to all parts of the Palestinian enclave. The war was triggered in October when Hamas militants killed 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducted roughly 250 people, according to the Israeli authorities. Israel's offensive in Gaza has killed more than 29,700 people, most of them women and children, according to the Health Ministry in Hamas-run Gaza. It does not distinguish between fighters and civilians in its count. The recent Gaza crisis has exposed the dilemma of double standards in their dealing with international crises and gross violations of human rights. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. If you haven't thought about that by now, then I don't know. I don't really know. Because this has been a total and open thing for everyone to see. The level of double standard being displayed by Western countries is unspeakable. They have given a blind eye to everything that is going on in Gaza. They have totally given a blind eye to. They have been like, Israel, go in, do your worst. Whatever you do, just do it. No one cares. Just do it. Kill them all if you may. Just go ahead. Crush them. And that is exactly what Israel has done. Israel has crushed the people in Gaza, crushed the Palestinians, has killed. I think to date, it should be 30,000 plus in Gaza. And what has the West done? Nothing. What have the so-called champions of human rights, of freedom, of democracy, of equality, what have they done so far? Nothing. 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 Double standard for you, my brothers and sisters. So whenever someone comes here and tell you that the West do what they say, just tell them to wait until their own interest is on the line. And then you'll see what they do. Just tell them to wait. Not to hurry. Just wait. Let their interest be on the line, and then you'll see what they do. From there, you understand if really, really, they are who they say they are. Yeah. So, our thoughts and prayers are with the affected families of victims in the Gaza Strip. And we hope that as most independent media outlets and some of us, the small YouTubers, try to share more light on this issue and this double standard and hypocrisy by the West, we can shame them into action. We can finally knock them into their senses. Hopefully. But you guys out there, let us know what you think about the story we covered today on this show. And they give us your take on the current situation in Gaza. What do you think about it? Is it fair? Or is it just? Or is it necessary? Let us know in the comment section below. Please do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because that helps us a lot. And we shall forever be grateful to you. So, thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.